peeped that. I wish I was in that show. I was the top of shit.
Yes, so
oh, bro, I was just saying, bro, she's not finna fuck you, dog.
SOS podcast. I sent it to the wrong. I'll be coming in. Joey Chadass. We live with Joey Chadass, man.
Joey Chadass.
Hey, do y'all notice anything different about this show? We all in the same room, man. That's crazy.
What's up with it?
Let's see if we can bring bro in real quick. On to many of y'all's convo and all of that. Oh, he popped right in. Hey, can you hear us clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What up,
Joey?
What's good? What's good?
SOS Podcast, man. We are live from Grimo Studios.
Yo, you're on a historic episode, my friends, because you see we're all together.
Yeah, usually I see y'all have like the different squares.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m. on Instagram is where we premiere. And make sure y'all like and subscribe to the show, to the channel. Yeah, man. It does our hearts some good. Yeah, man. And yeah, man. SOS Podcast.
Yeah, so me and Chad, we both work at Redacted. You know, both co-workers. You know, he fixes my PC every time I fuck it up. I'm like, Chad, help! He's like, you fucking dumbass. You got that now. He's actually a lot nicer than that. But Mr. Beck, please, man, tell the audience, man, what you do when you're not.
Yeah. So I'm Chad. Go by Joey Chadass. I have a YouTube channel. I have like a clothing line. I'm working on that to drop again in winter. Yeah, I live in Atlanta. That's basically about it, really.
Okay, so you got a clothing line. What kind of clothing? Like athletic clothes, casual clothes?
So it's sort of like streetwear, but I've come out with stuff since I would say 2017. So like t-shirts, hoodies, hats, long sleeves. I haven't dropped anything in probably like 2 years though. So I think I'm gonna re-drop some stuff.
What's caused the hiatus?
I jump from so many different things. So like I'll do photos. So like I take photos, people, so I'm like a photographer. Then I'll jump into clothes. Then I'll jump into YouTube. Then I'm like into cars. So I'm like repairing my car, building my car up. I just do too much. So it's hard for me to focus on one thing at a time.
How can you like kind of make an amalgamation of all of your interest and like kind of focus that into one thing? You know?
So the main thing that I've been doing is YouTube. So that's like what really interests me because it's video. I went to high school and did video production, and then that really helps me learn how to Photoshop, edit video. It's all so simple, so it's so easy. But I'm not really like a creative that'll create something and be like, oh, I gotta go 100% with it. It's like if I have an idea and I execute it, then it's over with. So like if I want to paint something and I create the painting, once the painting is created, it's over with. Like I'm done with it. I've accomplished it.
So what type of stuff you do on the YouTube, bro?
On the YouTube, like in 2021, it got more political. Just like current events, trying to wake people up because a lot of people are still asleep, in my opinion. You know, everyone can differ with opinions. I do some car stuff. I do like some vlogs in the past. I do reviews over like different products, unboxings, everything like that. But mainly probably political stuff.
What are you trying to wake people up to?
Say that again?
What do you intend to wake people up to?
So just everything that happens, like I feel like most stuff that happens in the world isn't really what it is. Like people just kind of throw emotions behind everything, like for different things. So like if Elon bought Twitter, they'll get emotional, like, oh, Twitter's gonna be a worse place. They fired all these people, but in actuality, everybody's Twitter has not changed. They got rid of 3/4 the company, and the app is still running perfectly fine. So I don't really see what all the commotion's about, even though, you know, Elon bought it now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't use Twitter, so I wouldn't really know. But yeah, things pretty normal. People still posting. People still, you
Yeah.
know. I think what y'all gotta pay for your blue checks now. That's what it is.
Yeah, people pay for blue checks now with the Twitter Blue. I used to have Twitter back in I had Twitter since like 2011, 2012. So I was on it way early when like you could say whatever you wanted and people just knew it was a joke. Now everything that's a joke. It's taken way too serious. Everybody's sensitive. And then I deleted my Twitter for like 5 years. And then I just created one again, maybe like earlier last year sometime. And I don't really follow anybody. I just at Twitter because I had deleted Instagram too. I had it deleted for like 6, 7 months. I just came back probably like a month ago.
Yeah, man, to do the show. You know?
Yeah,
That's like the first
that's
time.
for real. Because I would have deleted it again.
You hopped on? Have you hopped on that new joint Threads yet by Instagram?
I won't be making the threads just because you can't delete it unless you delete your Instagram, which I have no problem doing that. But they tracking too much stuff and it's too many social medias. At this point, I can't keep up.
Yeah.
You got Twitter, Mastodon, Rumble, YouTube, Snapchat. It's just too many. And
Rumble, that's like the streaming service that kind of lets you get away with a little bit more than Twitch would.
Well, it's not like Twitch, it's more so like YouTube. Kick would be like Twitch.
Oh.
But the more social medias that but the more social medias that come out, the less I want to be on them, honestly.
Yeah.
So like they can keep pumping them out. I'm just gonna be MIA.
Yeah, I feel you because I gotta apologize to my big brother Los, but like he got me in the clubhouse, but then I'm like, I barely use it. I'm like, well, shit, well, what the fuck? So
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I get annoyed by the clubhouse notifications too, bro. Like, I love that feature. You can turn that joint off for a week, and then I had mine deleted off my phone. Like, I got my account, but I had that deleted off my phone for months, and I let some girl talk me into getting back on there because she was like, yeah, they're starting to build a community really on there for Pittsburgh, and it'd be a good opportunity for you to jump on. And then I just jumped on, and like some of the shit that they were just talking shit on each other, and I was just like, it just sound like like WWE promo. I was just like,
Yeah. See, I've heard of Clubhouse. I don't even know where half of these social medias I don't even know where they are. Like I heard of Clubhouse, I've never used it. I've never been on it, not even one time. So I don't know what happens on Clubhouse. And then like with the circles and when one person talk, you see that circle light up. There's like multiple people in the room or something.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And also, too, like, the thing about these social media companies is it's like most of the major ones steal from the little ones anyway. Like, Twitter dang near stole Clubhouse. Like, that's what Twitter Spaces is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Twitter Spaces is Clubhouse. You know what I mean? It just got less ratchet people on there. Like, so, same thing with, like, Facebook tried to do, like, the Snapchat stories and stuff like that. Like, they all, like, most of the top ones steal from the little ones anyway. So if you get if there's like some little minor social media app that you haven't heard of, don't worry, Facebook or Twitter will do it 2 years later.
Yeah, plus to get people to leave the platforms that have been out for years to then go on to these smaller honestly, no one's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like as much as people would like people to join this, like to me it's never gonna happen. It would have to be like Twitter shut down.
Well, I'm sorry, Meta, they had a good idea with attaching it to your Instagram because like they had 2.8 billion or something like that, like or 2 billion people that was already on Instagram, and it's just literally a conversion at that point. Like they already tapped into people that could dip into the thread.
Yeah, so that makes it easier. So like instead of you having, I mean, you still have to download a separate app, but instead of you have to re-sign up, the fact you just move your stuff over and it's just there. And then in threads, you can share what you type directly to your Instagram story. It's basically just like instead of posting pictures all the time, you can get people's thoughts along with the picture. That's all it really is.
Yeah. And I like where Zuckerberg set it up like a mixtape release. He was like, I'm beefing with Elon Musk. We about to do a cage match. Oh, by the way, here's threads. Oh shit, these niggas beefing. Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, see what Elon Musk gonna say about this.
Speaking on that, man, like I'm sorry, like I'm gonna sound like the biggest punk ass in the room, but I wouldn't fight Zuck either, man. Like that 1,000-mile stare he got.
Yeah, he looked like it's like.
Nah, Zuck can probably beat Elon up for real, because you know he I think he does like jujitsu or something. He won a tournament. I think he's like a black belt. Like
Yeah. Ain't no
Zuck actually probably can fight. Elon, on the other hand, I don't know.
There's that, and also Elon moves slow. Like you see that man walk, like he looked like he hurt it. Like
Yeah.
one solid hit, that man's hitting the ground, bro. He's like, it's over with.
The only thing I will say is, damn, it's funny we go on the analysis, but Elon Musk got 100 pounds on your boy. Yeah, your boy's up. So, I mean, he if he can move fast enough to just be engaged in a fight, he might be able to just throw his weight on him.
If I had to put money on it, I would put money on Zuckerberg. Personally.
Zuck is like the real life reptile, like for like, they're probably spit acid at you and shit.
I don't know. I don't know what he is, but I mean, it's not many people. It's not many billionaires actually coming out with technology. Like, what else could they do new besides go kind of like virtual?
A cage match, and they gonna be getting it in, and then your boy was my man name Jeff Bezos. He's gonna come running down the run.
Hopefully they do it at the Coliseum.
The announcer's the dude who used to own Twitter, Jack Dorsey.
Fucking MySpace gonna get involved in this shit.
Facts.
Motherfuckers, I started all this gangster shit.
They should have it though at like the Coliseum. They were talking about that would be the craziest selling fight. It would make so much money.
Right. More than a Jake Paul fight, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean they just fight, fighting just to fight for no reason.
Yeah,
it's really crazy. This social media shit crazy. When we talk about distractions, what's one of the most clever distractions that you're currently aware of, and what do you think that is distracting us from?
A distraction. I would say right now is not many of them. Besides, like they try to push a lot of like feminizing men and masculizing women. I would say another distraction was probably COVID. Like COVID was like I'm not gonna say it wasn't real or nothing like that, but COVID was really a time for like you are inside the house. Like what do you really need to get done to work on for your future? Either you're just gonna continue doing what you were always doing, or you're gonna buckle down and get right. Because it was only you, yourself, your thoughts. Like if you still doing the same thing you were doing pre-COVID, then something's clearly wrong. Like you gotta be moving way different now. Gotta focus. But I mean, everything is a distraction at this point. If you're not really focused, like on your future.
What's on mostly right now?
Say that again.
What's something you're focused on right now?
I would say I'm just trying to get closer to God. Pray more, different things like that. I'm trying to save up money so I could eventually like get a crib of my own. Because the way the economy's set up now, they don't want people to own cribs. They just want you to rent forever or live home. And me personally, I'm not doing that. So I need me like a house. I want a house. I don't want to pay rent forever. I want to own something. They don't want you to own nothing. That's the whole goal. They don't want you to own anything. They want you just to be okay. Like I think the World Economic Forum was like, you'll own nothing to be happy. And I see a lot of people happy with owning nothing. They like, oh, they just, spending money as we still spending money, but like stuff is higher than it's ever been. So I mean, to each their own. But yeah, that's what I'm focused on. So it's like where these like billionaires get together and they basically try to like come up with their own rules for how they want stuff to be. So they're like, oh, like, we're trying to get rid of currency. We're trying to go cashless. We're trying to do this. We're trying to do that. When it's like they really are the ones behind the scenes destroying society. Like everything that they are doing destroys society, but a lot of people don't even know about it. Just like BRICS. I don't know if you know what BRICS is.
I was really about to bring that up. I was about to ask you.
Yeah, they coming out with that currency that's like backed by gold. And while Americans are worried about every little issue that's happening that has nothing to do with anything, the dollar's finna be useless pretty soon. So cash is gonna be useless. Now you got this they trying to come out with that's really gonna be like a competitor with the US dollar. So we already at high inflation. Stuff already costs too much. People not getting paid enough. Now people really gonna suffer. So I mean, if you're paying attention, you're paying attention. I don't know.
What was it? You mentioned you was in the. You said you was like you got your own car and you was making like modifications and stuff to it.
Yes. So I bought a. Okay, go.
I know. I was gonna say what kind of car was it?
Yeah, so I bought a Subaru WRX, and then I added like a wing, some window visors, like rain guards. I just put something on the wing because for some reason when they came out with the
You said
wing
a wing?
and you're driving, yeah, like an STI wing. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a just like a spoiler basically.
Okay. Put it
So
like on the side.
yeah, huh?
I never heard of that.
Yeah,
No,
so they
it's not on the side, is it?
no, it's on the trunk. If I can find a
Oh,
photo, I
okay.
can show you. Yeah, so
I guess because he said wing.
Yeah, I was sitting here.
so I mean it technically is a wing. Hold on, I'll show y'all. I don't know if y'all can see that's it right there.
The audience can see it.
Yeah, that's the wing right there.
Okay. So it's a spoiler, all right. Kind of.
Yeah.
Are you part of that community? Do you kind of meet up and like kind of like talk
I
shop?
watched the YouTube videos, but no, I haven't done any meetups. I feel like for me to, I mean, I could meet up as my car is now, but I feel like I need to mod the stuff in the inside, like give it more horsepower, change a few more things before I meet up. But I'm not really that into that. I just like fixing up my car,
Okay.
driving my car.
You got racing or nothing like that, right?
No, I'm not racing.
Okay.
I mean, I would, but I'm not doing it right now.
All right, man, dog. You gotta shave your head bald, get the dog Toretto.
Right, get on this one.
No cap.
But nah, Chad, when I was going through your videos, man, one of them, I was actually kind of surprised. I was like, oh, shit, I actually agree with this one a little bit. But I was surprised.
You agree with it a little bit.
It was made like 2 years prior. You was talking about the red pillars and how you was talking about how useless they was actually. It was like, well, hold on, bro, what the fuck? How y'all talking about? Y'all talking about like you don't need women, but like but y'all always trying. But everything y'all do is to get the attention of women anyway. But like he was 2 years ahead of the game. But like now people are starting like with the fresh and fit and all that. People are starting to get that. So like
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like everything be distracted. So like the red pill community. When I was in college, like sophomore year, I was like on it early. And I was like, okay, this is making sense. And then one day I was just like, this doesn't make any sense. Like it makes sense. There's some truth wrapped in it, but it's like a lot of cap, to be honest. So when I eventually was just like, I feel like, okay, if I'm on YouTube trying to watch a video on how to become alpha, I'm not alpha. That's like like I can't be listening to somebody else tell me how to live my life. That's not alpha. Like if you alpha, you just do what you do. Like it's just that simple. So I was just like, okay, this is a facade. And then I slowly start seeing that whole community just get dismantled because the people are just preaching the same talking points. And then on top of that, it's like people realize this stuff ain't applying because I'm losing the people who I just got because I'm trying to implement these strategies when they're just like, oh, they just like me for me. Like that's really all you gotta do in this world. Like find people who like you for you and keep them on your team. That's it. You don't gotta increase their interest and do all this extra stuff. That's just nonsense.
Like and like the most like surprising thing, like especially the dude Myron, like I don't know, it's like what if like him and DJ Academics, like they'll go hard as hell on like a female guest, but like a male guest come in and like, oh yeah, totally, yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. Like it's just like
I mean,
then if you push him back with them, I mean, he's on that squad. I didn't know that.
I mean, no, he appears on their stuff every once in a while.
Yeah, okay.
But I just remember this one time. I think he was filling in for him. Like some lady said something to him he didn't like. I think she said something about his weight. That man was mad as fuck.
Who is it?
It was some random.
No, who was mad though?
Oh, DJ Academics.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
but during his rant, like he unironically called himself Big Act. Like, nah, man, Big Act in the building.
I saw that video, yeah, and a lot of people that
Just because she clowns you on your weight, bro.
and a lot of people that like like break down the red pill community. Like, these are the most emotional men, and they tell you not to be emotional. Like, the littlest thing, like if you don't agree with them, you got to get out. You can't hear their opinion. You can't disagree with them. They just get straight emotional, and it makes no sense. Plus, if I have a podcast where I just have a whole bunch of birds around the table and I'm saying stuff that goes against their lifestyle, of course I'm gonna look like I'm really speaking some facts. But if I get some people on there who have a like differing opinion and they actually are coming with facts, like they're just pushing a lifestyle that is basically I just want to do what I want to do and I just don't really care. I mean, that's fine, but I mean, it's not. It just doesn't make sense.
Off the show, like it be the people that like literally have no power in their life, and like you know what I mean. Like they just get shit on every day at work. They can't talk to a girl to save their life. Like when they be seeing these dudes kick these shorties off their show, I feel like that be empowering to them. Like yeah, kick her off. Kick her off and reject her like she rejected me. And it's just like,
and they be giving them like $50 to $100 super chats and shit. I'm like, yo, what? We need that audience.
Yeah,
you know.
bro. See, it's all. That's just entertainment. That's what people are feeling. Like it's just entertainment. That's all they doing.
Bro, I feel the same way about that Andrew Tate dude. Like that dude is literally. That dude's literally a wrestling heel, like you know what I mean. But these dudes, them sad dudes, like don't realize he's a wrestling heel. Like he don't be stating no real like facts at all. But these sad dudes, the saddest ones, was paying $10,000 to go to Romania to listen to this man and get beat up by MMA fighters and stuff. Like you could have saved that $10,000 and just look yourself in the mirror and be like, "Yo, I'm whack." Like that's it.
But see, I actually like Andrew Tate. Now I'm not like Andrew Tate. Like, nah, I'm not doing all that. But like, if you just watch Andrew Tate's interviews, like the one he did with I think it's like Valuetainment, that's like really big, just came out, and the one he did with Tucker Carlson. I was watching that one today. Andrew really be speaking facts, but sometimes he goes too radical with it, and that's where he starts losing people.
But the facts he spits are so basic. I mean, okay, yeah, work out, be healthy, save, be good with your money, try to find different. Okay, like
if Andrew Tate kept his message way simpler, it would just smooth over. All he's saying is, if you a man, just be a man. Yeah, you know, we gonna have bad days, you're gonna have good days, but at the end of the day, you still gotta carry out your day. You can't let being sad just keep you sad and you don't get what you need to get done. If you got people in your life you love, whether you got a good woman or you have kids, your job as a man is to take care of them. Go to the gym so you can be fit enough to where if you have to defend them one day, you can. That's basically his whole message. And if you do that, then like you'll just cut through the BS out here. Like you won't worry about what Myron and them doing because it's irrelevant, stuff like that.
I can agree to a sense, but then he be having other stuff where he be talking like dominating women and stuff like that, and like not even just like all like some sexual play type shit. Like he really be talking about like keeping these women submissive and shit, and you know what I mean, and like all that type of stuff, and the fact that he be peddling that shit to little kids, like that's the part where I just be like, bro, I can't fuck with this dude. You know what I mean? Like I said, if this was a wrestling character, I'd laugh my fucking ass off. But the fact that he's peddling that shit to 12-year-old boys, and these boys is turned around and peddling that shit to 12-year-old girls, and that's just fucked up. I feel like when he'll bitch up on like the BBC or like Hassan talks to him. Cause I think what he said, he's like, well, if you want to interview with me, you gotta give me $50,000 and a box of chocolates. And I was like, well, I'm just about
that.
But
we live in an era where everybody got to know every fucking thing, bro. Like I don't know how to say it too, but that's like
hold on. Let me join back because it's like messing up real quick. Hold on, let me join back. Hold on.
But yeah, I miss the days when you could just be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's like that was the definitive answer. You ain't have to go figure it out. Yeah, I'm out to do it.
Yeah, he's better. I see it.
thanks for joining the SOS podcast, man. We still rolling. Bringing no way, boy. No way. No way, boy.
YouTuber.
So it's still messed up. It sounds like real like underwater. I don't know if it's me or I don't know.
Underwater?
Yeah, y'all sound like y'all are underwater.
Shit back in the chest. Does it sound any better now?
Do we sound good?
Nah, it's like the connection.
Yo, anybody in the chat, let us know if we sound fucked up to y'all. A little flowing, man.
Yeah, it was a nice little flow.
Let us know in the chat if our shit sound fucked up.
They said it's not you. Hold on, let me restart my Instagram app. Hold up.
Hey, man.
They said fix the connection. It's off the Wi-Fi. Maybe that's. I just took it off the Wi-Fi.
Well, the chat said it was just.
No, they said it's not. It's not him. It's us.
It's us.
They said fix that connection. Yeah. What it sound like now, yeah?
Let us know, chat. Let us know how our sound.
I keep getting these calls from Utah and stuff. But yeah, that's the hazards of going live, man. We gotta do surgery in the middle. Ain't no edits.
Oh, they said it's better. Yeah, it was that Wi-Fi, bro. I had to put it on.
It's way better now. Yeah, it's better.
There we go. We got the 5G networks and the frogs turning shit.
It's the Matrix attacking.
I think wasn't they already by
No, yeah. The 5G was that they were saying the 5G caused COVID. So,
oh my God. Y'all can't say the C word, man. We ain't to post this shit.
Yeah, damn. Okay, the C word.
How can you talk about it? Like, what can you say?
Zuckerberg, as soon as they do the analytic, they scan this shit real quick. They're gonna hear the C word and shut it down.
Man, we all know where it came from, though. We're gonna be honest. Everybody know where it came from.
Well, I mean, since you done already said it, go ahead. We ain't this won't get monetized. But go ahead.
I'll try to keep it like in cold words, but I'm just gonna lay out a scenario, right? So if there's a lab in the place where they said it came from, and they do research to make the stuff stronger, then that's the only place it can really come from. That's the only thing that makes sense. Like,
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of smoke that can lead to some fire with some of the scenarios I've heard of. You know what I mean? But I think the thing that made it so probably controversial and probably polarizing is the fact that the controversy led people to say it wasn't real or made them make decisions that didn't necessarily bode well for overall protection of the general public. You know what I mean? Like I caught COVID. I caught the C word twice. I'm only just saying now, but yeah. So I knew that shit was real, but I think there was also a part of. I knew that shit was real, or at least that's what they said it was. You know what I mean? Whatever, I went down there, but you know what I mean. I knew. I had to believe that shit was real, but there was also me having speculations about or reservations about the jab. You know what I mean? And not just the jab, but just like the whole you're gonna be a social leper and we'll disallow you from the establishment.
I mean, look, bro, it's your fucking decision, though. Right? Hey, if your job says take it or get fired, well, fuck it, you gonna get fired.
I was about to say, I caught COVID 3 times. I never said it wasn't real. I was just like, I'm not getting the jab. Like, if my job says, Chad, you gotta be let go. All right, I'll see you later. Like, it was that simple to me personally.
So
but
is redacted making you turn in test or what? Or is it like?
No. So when I worked at Apple, I worked from home. So when COVID hit, nothing changed for me except for I couldn't go outside and go to stores because everything was shut down. So I still had a job. I was grateful for having a job. You know, I was like, okay, I never caught COVID until I came back from Vegas. and that was in like 2021. And then I caught COVID for the first time, and I didn't even have to test really to even know I had. I was just like, I feel weird today. And then I was like, okay, I probably have COVID. And then somebody in our group chat texted and they were like, oh, this person had COVID. I was like, okay, let me take a test.
What was your symptoms?
So mine were I just had to keep blowing my nose. My head felt like it had a little pressure, and the sun was super sensitive on my skin. That was it. I wasn't like dying in my room, but you know, some people were.
Relatively young, though. You know what I mean? And I think too, it took me a while to kind of mature to the understanding of let's protect the elderly and the infants. But at first, I was like, man, y'all acting like some pussies out here. Like, y'all niggas can't get a cold, B. Like, niggas get cold every day, son.
It was basically the flu 2.0. It's basically the flu 2.0. And then on top of that, I'm very understanding. I'm all for if you want to get, the stuff to prevent it, you do that. I'm all for you doing it. I'm not doing it, but you can do it. Now, like people over like 65 or people with compromised immune systems, to protect yourself, clearly, do what you have to do. But for everybody else be running around, people like screaming at you because you're not wearing a mask. I literally went to the grocery store and saw a lady wearing 2 masks. And I was like, what are you protecting yourself from? You like 2 masks isn't gonna help you.
Well,
If
that protects others.
Yeah.
But okay, so okay, if you're in a grocery store, right, and every person has on a mask but you, are they not still protected from you?
Ask that again.
If everybody in the grocery store has on a mask but you, and you said it's to protect you from others, aren't you being protected from others?
I mean, technically, yeah, but that's just private businesses doing what they do.
Yeah, and I wasn't mad at that. But also, the thing that kind of made me upset when it all washed out is the oh my bad. We overblew all that shit, and by the way, a lot of the shit that we said was false.
500,000 people died, so I wouldn't say they overblew it.
Well, no, like I'm talking about like this whole, you'll be fired and
No, they did.
And all this shit.
They overblew it. No, he right. They overblew it. Y'all remember when the pandemic first happened, and they were like, nurses are the superhero of today. Then they fired all of them in New York because they ain't getting jabbed. I was like, weren't they just the heroes of yesterday? Like, when the common sense doesn't add up anymore, that's when I was like, okay, people being brainwashed.
They was following the protection rules. Like,
but
you can't.
The rules change so much. Like one day would be this.
But that's science, period, though. You know what I'm saying? Like science evolves all the time. You know what I mean? Like they never 100% that they got it 100% right.
But if that's the case, then why not just say, all right, people, we're still trying to figure out what's going on. We have these measures in place, but they're going to be constantly changing. So what was happening yesterday is not happening today. I just feel like personally for them to say, oh, we know it, and then it's like it's constantly changing. Like I remember at one point they were like, oh, if you got the jab, then you don't have to wear a mask no more. That lasted 2 weeks. Then they said, oh, no. If you got it, you still got to put on a mask. Then they said, oh, if you put on a mask, now you got to go get the booster. And I was like, what?
Well, hold on now. Big John.
Hold on. SOS. We got the guest, Big John, in the building.
Hold on, Beck.
That's good.
This is my first time hearing that. Cause I don't think anybody ever said you would never ever get it once you got nah. They still said, hey, wear your mask. Hey, be cautious, cause this shit is still new. So I don't think anyone ever said you'll just be totally protected because there's people who got the jab and still caught COVID.
Yeah. So my whole thing is though, if no matter what you do, you may get COVID. Just live your life. Either you gonna get it or you not. Now if you want to take the extra precautions, cool, do you. But don't force your precautions on me.
Well, nobody forced the jab on anybody.
They did. People got fired. That's forcing it.
It's like
that.
What you had to do if you didn't get the jab, you could have just.
Let's go die. Let's go in the house and die. Don't ever come outside.
Nobody said you couldn't come outside. All you had to do.
Don't come. No. All you gotta do is. All you gotta do if you don't get the jab.
All you had to do is pay $1,000 for one mask. One mask.
If you don't get
No, he's right. Literally, they shut down. They shut down. They shut down gyms.
Coming around, redacted, like, would you want Eric over there like, you know, all up in your office and shit? You be like, nigga, goddamn, go the fuck home.
But if he's sick, but that's what I'm saying.
That they never met, but won't fucking go outside without a fucking mask. What the fuck? Niggas was that important.
That's just like
every day when that smoke came out from Canada. No, I see nobody with a mask on. They ain't know what the fuck was in that smoke.
They wasn't supposed to be.
No, but my whole thing is
when the Canada smoke was here.
my whole thing is we lived through COVID that whole time, right? And then all of a sudden, Biden and them were like, it's over. And now nobody talks about it. Like, it still exists. They did. They said the pandemic's over. They literally came forth and said it's over.
But, like, the health officials have said that was irresponsible. Like, you know what I mean? Like, most of these infection doctors have said that was irresponsible. Just because the government's going to do whatever they can to protect themselves and they dollars. That's it. You know what I mean?
So why were people trusting the government then? That makes no sense.
They were trusting the health officials.
But they were only trusting the government's health officials.
Fucking Pepsi from fucking rats and shit.
Anybody else that was listening to other health officials say the opposite of what the government's health officials were saying, they were saying, no, that's misinformation. Don't listen to that. It felt like 1984.
Crazy.
Most of them niggas was crazy. You had that crazy Jamaican chick talking about put bleach in yourself or some shit.
Right?
That's natural selection.
Have been disbarred for 20-something years. Like, you want to pour Lysol yeah, I got disbarred for shooting shark embryos and babies, but you know, don't get the fucking jab. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right. All I'm saying is, bro, you gotta raise an eyebrow to this. Well, this is what I will say. I really wasn't mad that people was taking precautions, and I wasn't mad that people was was falling subject to hysteria, because I could be a little germophobic myself. But what was making me a little bit raise an eyebrow was when they was fucking with your fucking First Amendment rights, like.
Thank you.
When they were saying, like, bro, we're going to force.
Were they arresting you?
No, listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. At the point where they were saying we can make you do this shit. We could write it into law that you will get this shit put in your body.
They did it before.
Huh?
The Spanish flu. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so what I'm saying to you is you should always question any form of law, especially when that is going to be
I understand
invasive.
questioning. Don't get me wrong. I understand being questioning and everything. But at the point where that many motherfuckers died, it's kind of just like.
That many motherfuckers.
But the difference between like.
Yes, they do.
The difference between like the Spanish flu or the Black Plague and COVID, where if you go outside, the Spanish flu and the Black Plague are putting people dead right there in the street. You don't need to be told about it. It's like Ebola. You don't need to be told. Like, you're going to die.
So the thing with Ebola, though, like, because it killed you so quick, like, it didn't spread as fast. But
yeah.
The C word, cunt, I'll call it cunt. Cunted, all right? like cunted, you know what I'm saying? It was so, what's that fancy term? Communicable.
What?
Okay.
Transferable, yeah.
What?
I went to a communicable college.
It had a high, like, transmission rate.
Yeah. I mean, like, because, you know, you didn't die instantly from it, so you can, like, I mean, you can just pass by somebody, like, one person gets 2 people sick, gets 4 people sick, gets 8 people, you know what I mean? It's like a trigram.
How did that shit? You thought you were going to get COVID? You really thought you were going to get COVID?
I thought I was going to pass it to my grandmother because at Redacted, you know what I'm saying? Like, we was in the area of Atlanta that had the most cases. So I thought I was going to pass it.
I knew I wasn't getting it because my black ass was in the house. And the only time I got it was when I went down to Nashville messing with them white people.
Bro, I was during that time during the pandemic, bro.
I'm more so with him. Like I understand everything y'all are saying, but I'm more so on his side. Cause like it was planned, bro. They had it all planned out. They were like, they're gonna come out with a virus, they're gonna do this. And they did it to take they literally did it to the goal is to get control over the people and make y'all slaves. You will own nothing to be happy. Think about everything.
Doesn't capitalism
This is the chain. We got the chain right here.
But you bought that. You bought that. It's not being forced upon you.
Everybody was talking about that the government was going to spy on us. Nigga, who is you? You got niggas working at McDonald's talking about, man, I let the government listen to me. Man, nigga, get the fuck out of here. Why? Yeah, like you already got a chip. It's right here.
I will say that like people underestimate their value to the government. Like the only resource that the government has is the people. It's within their best interest to make sure that you do exactly what the fuck they want.
I understand, but at that point though, I'm just saying for real, like if we're being legit honest, we're already controlled. Like our technology.
We doing the programming, bro.
Bro, we're being like they know where you're at exactly right the fuck now. If they wanted to send a drone strike here, motherfucker, we dead in 10 seconds.
Yeah, and that cool blue card that your parents got with that number on it. Yeah, I mean, come on. Like,
okay, but y'all are using a straw man's argument. If you gonna use a social security card, of course I'm controlled. But you can control what you do in your everyday. You don't have to just because I'm controlled doesn't mean I have to let the government control what I do. Like you still have your own. That's why people are like, no, we don't want this. That's why people are getting canceled. That's why people losing their jobs because they're like, y'all doing too much.
I don't really. I kind of hear you, but at the same time, you still would have had that same thought process with the vaccine. Like,
he's from Georgia.
Hey, we must say that.
Georgia?
No, I kind of agree with my brothers. There's an illusion of freedom. I don't believe that we are actually have the liberty to do what we want. Even if you think about it on like a very micro level, like a lot of stuff that we do on a day-to-day basis, we call culture, has really just been fed to us, and we've been programmed to do certain things anyway. So we're going to spend a certain way, we're going to live a certain way, we're going to die a certain way.
Yeah, what's that other fancy term? Manufactured consent or something like that?
But I will say to the acknowledgement of our guests, it's like I feel like there is a sovereignty to every human being,
right.
And I feel like you should always think, and you could build yourself up by turning shit down. Some shit you got to think long enough. You have to think long enough about it to be able to consciously say no. Like,
I mean, well, to be unfair on y'all's part, I mean, this is a very extreme example, and this might be a straw man. But Jehovah's Witnesses, they'll look a doctor dead in their face and be like, hell no, I'm not giving my child that life-saving blood transfusion because it's a fucking sin. And they'll watch their kid die.
But that's too extreme, bro. That's too extreme.
But still, what I'm saying is they still have the freedom to do that, though, right?
Yeah, you should have the freedom to do what you want to do. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we agree with you. I'm just arguing you had that freedom during the pandemic. Nobody was forcing anybody to get anything.
Well, when you say nobody forced, it's like, no, they didn't hold you down and pin you and say, motherfucker, you want to take this shit while you were screaming. They just made you feel like such a piece of shit and pressurized you so much that you felt like, damn, I ain't going to be able to go and give a fucking
it's like Target.
Here's my thing, though, with, like, Coach, like, all right, this is a weird example, but I think about Coachella that year, right? Coachella initially that year was like, bro, ain't nobody getting in this bitch unless you got a vaccine card. Then they saw the profits and was like, on second thought, y'all can slide with a negative test, baby. Well, no, because the initial thing before that was, okay, everybody gotta have a fucking mask. And then the profit still wasn't hitting. And then they was like, all right, negative test, baby, and a vaccine card. Or if you don't, fuck it, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, you had the option to just go there with a mask on. and masks wasn't expensive. They was cheap as shit. Like, you had the option, and for real, unless you had serious respiratory issues, I speak as someone with asthma, you know what I mean? I wear masks all the fucking time. Do I like it? No. But does it keep me safe? Yeah. Like I said, the only time I caught COVID when I was wilding out with the white people down in Nashville, okay?
But it's just like when I went to Target during the pandemic, I walked through the doors. I was a person who's like, I'm not wearing a mask. That's just not happening. Like, it doesn't make sense. If I'm gonna get COVID, I'm gonna get it mask or not. Because they already said if you get the jab, you can still get it. It's just not severe. If you wear a mask, you can still get it. So what's the point of any of it? So I walked in and they were like, hey, you have to put on a mask to come into Target. I just turned around and drove off. I was like, there's no point. But I mean, it's a choice, but they're still forcing you to do something. It's either comply with what we say, even like if me consciously, if I'm like, I don't agree with this, and then I comply anyway, technically after enough repetition of that, I will actually wear the mask every time I come into Target. Like it'll be like a trained behavior.
What is how you not being forced at that point?
But how is that?
Okay,
that's forced.
There's 10 stores. You only got 10 options, and every option is telling you gotta wear a mask. Is it a choice? You don't have a choice.
No shoes, no shirt, no service.
No shoes,
no shirt, no service.
Also,
what do you think
a lot of these
are you being forced to wear clothes?
Yes.
But with a lot of these places, though, a lot of the Target, especially, I know because I went with my mom to do it. They had curbside, they had delivery.
No, but I want to go in the store.
That's what I'm saying. We don't want curbside. I want to walk around.
You were vaccinated. Chad, why are you cool with one forcing, but just like one thing over your face is just too far? No shoes, no shirt.
Because it's the fact that if everybody in the store has okay, look, if the store says for you to go in here, you must wear a mask, right? Everybody in there then has a mask on. If I don't want to put it on, y'all said you're protecting me from others, so I should be protected.
But do businesses have
But it's also businesses, it's like big corporations. Big corporations with the media, with the government, all work together. You gonna get it from the top down every single level. And then they shut down local businesses like small mom and pop shops because they didn't have the money to stay afloat. I mean, you could apply for like the PPP loans and stuff, but it's like all the local businesses went out of business. It's just corporations, like big corps. That's my whole thing.
Capitalism more so than COVID.
Well, I mean, capitalism is going to breed that, but if you're being forced to shut down your store or put forth all these rules that you don't believe in, at some point, either you stand up for your convictions and what you believe in, or you just comply, and then you just comply.
I respect you standing up for your stuff. Like I said, I support whatever, like, anybody has their own personal beliefs, cool. My thing is, I feel like you shouldn't say that you're being oppressed because you made a personal decision. You know what I mean?
But that is oppression.
Against me.
But if you were let's say it was flipped and you were on the opposite side, would you still be saying that it's not oppression?
When I went to Nashville, there was a store that straight up said if you had a mask on, you can't come in this motherfucker because they was pissed that they had to wear a mask to get a cupcake during the fucking pandemic. I was pissed about that shit. I was pissed at my friends for wanting to go the fuck in there. But I made the personal decision to go in there. They didn't oppress me because they made me take off my mask.
But they forced you to do it. They forced you to do it.
No, they didn't force me. I made
they forced you. It was either you get a cupcake or you don't.
Make a decision.
That's a decision. I made the decision. I'm a grown ass man. I made the decision.
But you made a decision though based on rules that were set in place to where if you didn't follow the rules in your false sense of a decision, you wouldn't get the cupcake.
No, I mean, they was pissed about the cupcake thing. It was something else. Anyway, my whole thing is as a grown man, I made the decision, right? I could have went anywhere fucking else. You know what I mean?
Stop. That's where you're wrong. You couldn't have went anywhere else in our situation. In your situation, you could go anywhere else and get another cupcake. In the situation that we're talking about, everybody that sold cupcakes said you have to have a fucking mask.
Yeah, because they ain't trying to get fucked up on the leopards.
Oh my fucking God. So and then now he said it, but he said leopards, right? You heard it, right?
I'm using y'all want to use these loaded terms.
What we trying to say is y'all can't say people weren't forced to do it. I said what we're trying to get at is y'all can't say people weren't forced to do something during the pandemic, because even though there is a choice, it's a false sense of you making a decision. If I say you cannot get paid unless you dance around the room, and you say, well, I made the choice to dance so I could get paid, that's a false sense of a choice. It doesn't actually exist. You were forced to dance. You just consciously were like, okay.
Even with this show that we're doing, I'm enjoying this discussion or whatever, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, even during that time, I try to stay as neutral as possible. I was trying my best not to be polarizing at all, you know what I mean? And I felt like people that was overprotected was wild, and I felt like people that was like being too lax was violent too. But I'm thinking about this show, and I want to keep this show, but I'm still forced to think like we probably shouldn't even post this show because it's gonna fuck up our numbers. It's gonna get flagged.
But see,
and shit like that.
That's what they want you to do. They don't want you to post this.
We can't even talk about it. That part is fucking.
Goddamn Chad Tate, what you doing?
But see, that's what they want you to do. They want you to be scared to do things that you would normally. They don't want you to talk about it. They don't want you to post about it. YouTube at one point, I put up videos about COVID. They took my videos down and gave me a strike, and they were like, "You need to be quiet." At one point, I had 2 YouTube strikes. The third, my channel deleted. I was like, all right, so I'll talk about other things. Then now they came out with policies that's like, oh, you can mention COVID, you can mention this, you can mention that. We don't care. It's like the rules only changed at the time because they wanted control. Now that that's not working no more, they've moved on. It's like, I don't know how to describe it.
Some of the censors, like since they were run by bots, were bad. But I'll be honest if I didn't say they didn't get a couple people who deserved it to fuck up out of here. Like there was a couple, like all the ones who was talking about that the cell phone towers were giving nigga COVID. Yeah, like you know what I mean. When I saw that shit, I was like, please get these niggas out of here. Like, get them the fuck out of here. Georgia, take them. Yeah, like.
But that's like common sense. That's when you're like, okay, these people are clearly like delusional.
Right. Well, yeah, but like I said, most of these centers are run by bot programs and shit. So like, unfortunately, that's an issue with automation.
Yeah, because I shared a Patton Oswalt joke, right? And like, I got live banned for 2 weeks. And I'm like, whoa, like, we're making fun of the niggas that's lying.
Yeah, like
but that's bots though.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like I got kicked one time for saying something about white people, and it wasn't even racist, but they took it as racist. So they kicked my ass. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
But see, that's how they want you. They wanna control so much of what you do and what you say that eventually you don't say nothing. You just comply with what they want you to think. Me personally, I'm gonna say it. They can ban me.
I feel like that's just more of an issue with automation. I think the problem is there's not enough live people anymore running this shit.
But it's not even the automation, because it's more so algorithms. Who created the algorithms? The people who don't want you to think the way you think. So if you think like them, the algorithm will never touch you.
Low-key, the people in general create the algorithm. Like, it's all about whatever. It's all about whatever you're into, because it's just gonna send you whatever you typically click on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, though, there's still people still creating an algorithm. So like, if I have let's say an app, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make this algorithm where anyone that talks about COVID, like, I'm gonna shadow. It's gonna go throw them way down on the list of the algorithm. They're gonna be shadow banned, and if they eventually say certain things about the jab, they're gonna just be banned. Versus if you're like, get it and do this and do that, they're gonna pump your video to the top and be like, yeah, that's what we want y'all to hear. There are people behind it writing the codes, but if all the people are already compliant thinking that way, then when the algorithm's sent out, anybody that goes against is going to be affected. And they're going to be like, well, that's just the rules. But if everybody at the place thinks that way, you're not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I feel like during that time, the best thing to do was to protect yourself by any means you consider to be necessary. But it was the hysteria for me, like, and I feel you when you say, but so many people die, every fucking day. Bro.
Okay, but we're talking about a specific thing.
I understand, but
that's what I said.
Think about how many people worldwide got fucked.
Yeah, but also you gotta think about too. Hysteria itself is a fucking sickness. Once you allow yourself to be subjected, once you allow yourself to fucking subscribe to hysteria, you can be sold and told any fucking thing, which could be way more harmful than any disease.
I would feel you in the sense. Right. I would feel you in the sense if there was people going around in like gangs of health nuts spraying hand sanitizer on unsuspected people. At that point, I'd be like, that's some hysteria bullshit. Go to fucking the house. You know what I mean? Like,
nah, the hysteria version of that is like, if I'm not wearing a mask, people wearing masks, screaming at me that I'm injuring others.
Anti-mask, they'll scream at me. Be like, what you wearing that mask for, pussy?
Yeah, I mean, so like,
I mean, that is true.
I got a lot of people who I hung out with who didn't wear masks. And all the time, they were like, who think that's going to protect you? Think that's going to protect you? You know, like shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
niggas was wearing a mask but wasn't washing their hands. Like, it was like so backwards.
But most people were wearing the wrong mask in the first place. They wearing the little hospital blue mask or like a cloth mask that they made in their house. You're getting COVID if you're wearing that.
Well, yeah, most of the people wearing the little thin shits was the ones who just put it on because they didn't want to wear a mask in the first place. Yeah, like most of the people wearing that shit was people who was like, fuck it, and just threw it on. Like, there was, like, you know, most other people was actually finding the KN95s and shit. But, you know, then again, too, like, there was the whole supply issue and everything because a lot of people didn't have access to that stuff.
At that point, you might as well not wear it.
I went to Georgia, bro, because, you know, like, we at PA, so, you know, it's like, it's like, yeah, I mean, very strict. It was way more strict up north, it felt like to me. We about Georgia,
up north.
But I'm talking, we was in the club, goddamn. I'm talking, there would have to be 3,000 people in this fucking club.
I had my mask on in the club.
That nigga COVID was out here doing the station leg on y'all niggas.
But I'll admit though, like that was kind of stupid. Like I'm over here grinding on people with the mask on. I'm still safe.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man, that's how I fucked up last November down in Nashville. All right, they was out.
And then another thing that didn't make sense to me, right? There was one time I went to a restaurant and I didn't have a mask on, and they were like, you need to wear your mask. And I looked at the people sitting down, and they were all maskless. Yeah. And then they were like, when you sit down at the table, you don't have to wear it. I was like, so COVID only attacks me when I'm going up to put my name on the list to sit down and eat. That makes see, and when it starts making sense, that's when I was like, okay.
Well, yeah, like specific stuff like that, I agree with you. Same thing with like, I remember there was a lot of people, especially like, you know, there was a lot of people who called out like places like New York who made them outside tables and put the plastic wrap on the outside. You're enclosing people in another space. Right. You're taking them from
6 feet, but stay close.
Yeah, you're taking them from one enclosed space, putting them outside, and then wrapping them in plastic wrap and shit, and then being like, all right, bet, you're segmented now. No, you're not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so on stuff like that, yeah, of course I agree with you. You know what I mean? Same thing with the plane. Like, I remember, like, you know, because I went a couple places during the pandemic. They would, they had every other seat filled, but people were still taking off their masks during the flight. And I was like, bruh, it's recycled air in a plane. Why are you taking your mask off? And, like, you know what I mean? Like, you might as well just go out there and raw dog it with everybody else. Like, you know what I mean? Like, You know, I kept my shit on. I had my visor and my mask, and I kept that shit on the whole plane ride.
But if it's the same recycled air, why wear it?
Visor and the mask is crazy.
Yeah, that's what. Why? If the plane is recycling air, why wear it?
Yeah.
He was in the. Yeah, I was at. Hey, they know I was at the bar. I know who he was until you took that one. Yeah, I was at the bar with my visor and my mask, and I just dropped the visor. Fuck it, I still got the mask.
But I don't understand though. Like, why did you have the visor and the mask if you said that the planes recycle air?
I'm a compromise, sir.
Oh, got you.
Ain't no like
no, literally, I have asthma. That's what you compromise is.
You know, used to fly into like used to go into like Korea air and shit. They still make you wear a mask too. Thailand, they still make you wear a mask and all that. So they made it.
I mean, at least it wasn't as bad as like Australia. They were actually locking people up. They like Australia, like, okay, let's say we lived in, I don't know, in Atlanta and you go to another city. In Australia, they told you couldn't even go to another city. And if you did and you were out past a certain time, you were just locked up. Like if they caught you outside, you were locked up. Like they would just literally go and arrest you.
I heard of certain states, not obviously that extreme, because I don't think you can get away with no shit like that here in America. But there were certain states where, like, if you tried to ditch the lockdowns and head down to Florida, wild it out, and your ass came back, like, you better quarantine. Otherwise, well, like at the doctor's office, like I remember my uncle had surgery out in California, and we had to go out there to help him. And then when I came back, like when I went to the doctor's office, I had to postpone the doctor's appointment because they said you went outside the state. You know what I mean? Like, and I get it. You know what I mean? You know, because like fuck it, like I want to get the doctors and the nurses sick. Like, you know, I felt it.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I don't know. I just feel like the pandemic was really, they were just trying to see who they can control and who they couldn't. And that's just me personally.
That's not a. I don't think that's a fair way.
You go out the country? Yeah. Hell
yeah. Because you know this is like a new thing, like that we didn't know about. It was fucking people up bad, like so. Right. Worldwide.
I mean, it was, but you know, I just feel like if it was your time to go, it was your time to go.
Oh, Beck, come on, man. That
I'm not saying it like, hey, those who died, I have no care for them, but I'm like, you can't control if you get it or not. You can't control how it affects you.
I get what you're trying to say, but that sounded very cold. But because there's a lot of people.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I feel it. I felt you on that.
But there's people who
if I can literally get every single jab. I can get all the boosters, put on a mask, put on 2 masks, and go outside, get it, and still die. If I was meant to go, it was time. Time for me to go home.
But why hurry it along, though? That's my shit. Like,
there's people who are here that would still be here if it wasn't.
Because at that point, you might as well be out here raw dogging hookers and shit. Like, fuck it, I'm gonna go anywhere. Yeah, like fuck it, I'm gonna ride down the street, sniffing cocaine, drinking heroin and shit. Like, you know, like fuck it, I'm gonna do whatever.
But that's stuff that you actually have to participate in. COVID, either you get it or you don't. It's not like because I wore the mask, I never got it. I wore a mask sometimes. I caught COVID 3 times. Yeah. After I caught it the first time wearing a mask, I was like, what's the point?
Yeah, no, I feel you. I'm just saying, like, I guess I was thinking more so of the vaccine, right? Like, at that point, if you're like, because the vaccine was supposed to, like, help at least, like, lessen the side effects. At that point, you know, that was my thinking with the vaccine in terms of, like, if you're saying, fuck it, I could just die anyway. Like at that point, like you might as well just throw a lot of precautions to the wind.
I mean, to me, no matter how many precautions you take, if it's your time to go, it's your time to go. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I may not 100% agree, but I can understand where you come from.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying too about like you can take precautions, but
It really wasn't that. It was just the illusion of choice for me, and the fact that people were so willing to. I mean, it didn't matter who it was, the relationship to you. If you didn't get the jab, bro, you're out. You got the scarlet letter, bro. You're out, man.
Because why the fuck would you just put grandma in danger?
Bro, grandma been in danger since the Depression.
Like, yeah, but why? I might as well stop bringing other shit into it. You got
I might as well look my grandmother eye kissing down the stairs already. Like, fucking bitch, you gonna die anyway. Like, you know, stay away from me.
It's like,
yeah, it's the fact that y'all really thought y'all was saving y'all grandma by wearing a mask.
Because I was.
I was saving my fucking self. Like, my grandma died of Alzheimer's. I was saving myself.
But see, they even said, like, if you let's say that you wore a mask and you got the jab for your grandma. They said that the jab just lessens the symptoms, basically to the point where, like, you know how they said a lot of people had asymptomatic COVID. So let's say you got the jab, you had such less symptoms, you didn't even know you had it. You just walking around, jabbed and masked up, and then you go around grandma, she gets it. Like, if she was going to get it, she was going to get it. The only way grandma can protect herself is she stays in the house the entire pandemic and you never visit. That's it.
But I mean, she did stay in the house mostly. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's her taking her precautions to protect herself.
Well, I mean, obviously she went out to go get basic necessities, but yeah, it's like, dude, I had to go to redacted every day, okay, with the highest amount of cases. We had motherfuckers who didn't want to wear the mask. We had motherfuckers that was just like, well, why I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, every day I had to go back and forth. I had coworkers catching it left and right. We had title searchers who died. Okay, so yeah, so it was pretty scary. I mean, and on an older person, like, it is a lot more severe.
Hey, we'll go further than Herbert King.
Oh my God. R.I.P. to Herman. But
nah, I mean, I'm never gonna make any good takes about this just because that shit. That's, to me, it was too much. That shit was too much, bro.
That's what I think.
I mean,
At the end of the day,
it was hard. Like, you know, threatening your living, like you said earlier.
Like, it wasn't the disease that was too much for me, because a disease is a disease. Like, that's fucked up. Like, yeah, of course you should protect yourself. It was the fucking hysteria and how political that shit got. It was too over politicized. Like, that shit was unreal. Like, the fact that, like, motherfucker, it was down there a civil war about that shit. Like, that was outrageous.
Yeah, because them dumb fuck Trump supporters was all like, well, let's fight, goddammit.
It was really the vax versus the unvax. And the vax, all jokes aside, the vax were making it seem like the unvax were killing people. And it's like, if y'all can get it and still spread it just like we can, why are we all against each other? I don't get it.
I mean, like,
I don't know. I guess to me, the reason why I was getting mad, again, I'm speaking from the perspective of someone who was immunocompromised. To me, it kind of got me pissed off because that was like, to me, it felt like this was one of those things that was really preventable. And like, you know, like,
because Trump fumbled it.
Yeah, well, there was that shit. But like, you know, other than that, this felt like something that was really preventable. And at one point, I was just like, it just felt like a lot of people was being mad selfish with going around and just willingly, like, you know, fucking shit up.
I got a question.
Yo.
So you think every election, there's something, not every other election, I'm talking like Obama with Ebola, swine was Bush, you know what I'm saying?
Well, did Obama have
Ebola? I thought it was Ebola.
Wait, he had Ebola, swine flu. I think he might have had Zika too, bro.
I just thought it was tripping like that.
Yeah.
Something, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
Trump put me like, oh, something, we cool.
Yeah. No, I mean, it definitely was weird. And also, it didn't help that, like, the fucking Bernstein tapes came out and Trump found out about fucking COVID, like, 4 months before, and he was like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, that didn't help.
That's the only reason why he didn't win.
Right, like, that.
Hillary wrote an email.
Right, yeah, like that didn't help, like, with the quote unquote validated a lot of shit. But like, you know, still, that to me wasn't proof that like, oh, the government like was like created COVID. To me, that was proof of like Trump's dumb as shit. You know what I mean? Like that didn't prove what it proved. That didn't prove to me what it proved to a lot of other people. You know what I mean? Like, could have, yeah, probably.
What? But I mean, but as far as like the policies, I mean, I didn't mind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if some businesses say, "Hey, if you're not vaxxed, get the fuck out," or if there was some like cruise ships that was like, "Hey, if you're not vaxxed, get the fuck out." That's cool. That's free.
I didn't feel bad for none of them niggas who got trapped on them cruise ships. If in June 2020 you got on a cruise ship and was surprised when you had to quarantine on that motherfucker for 2 months, you're dumb as hell. Why? You were dumb as fuck. Like, I'm sorry. Why was you getting on the cruise? Nah. Cruises is dirty anyway. Like before COVID. Cruises are literally floating petri dishes. People get sick on cruise ships all the time. Why the fuck did you get on a cruise in the middle of COVID? And then was surprised you had to quarantine on that motherfucker? Like, of course.
Real quick. Hey, Chad, how are you on time?
How long are y'all doing it?
Okay, to be honest, we probably need to jet. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
But yeah, man, that was a good discussion. I don't think we should keep this show, but
I'd say keep it up.
Yeah, we'll have round 2.
I don't give a fuck.
Oh, you don't give a fuck?
Zuckerberg, if you take it down, I'm going to sabotage you with the Elon Musk.
This shit, the page ain't going to get no fucking hits.
I mean, we got some people. I saw some people coming in.
Yeah, hell yeah. We had people in here.
The people are speaking.
Zuck, screw everything. I'm here. Please don't do nothing.
Hey, wait. What you say? You co-signed this message, right? Hey, raise your hand real quick.
but yeah, Mr. Beck, man, thank you for your time, man. We really appreciate you. It got lively, but not heated. So that was good. That was good.
I appreciate y'all.
Thanks, sir.
Please come back.
Peace, man. SOS Podcast every Wednesday, 8 o'clock. Yeah, man. Make sure y'all subscribe and like and do all those things. Peace.
All right, that was a good one.